Coming up tonight on YCU, a homeless Keene man has been arrested and charged with sexually assaulting a 15-year-old girl. A crash in Quechee leaves one Woodstock driver dead. And New Hampshire Representative Virginia Irwin talks about the New Hampshire gas tax and some of the potential highway needs. With more news, sports, and weather, stay tuned. It's time for YCU, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region and central Vermont. News, sports, weather, public affairs, and all that's happening in our area. The news on YCU, your local view.
Good evening and welcome to our Friday edition of YCU. I'm David Carmichael. A Keene registered sex offender has been arrested and accused of giving a teenage girl alcohol and then sexually assaulting her. WMUR reports that 22-year-old Altira Farinelli was living in an area homeless shelter at the time of the assault. Investigators say that the victim was 15 years old. Farinelli was charged with felonious sexual assault and is being held on $25,000 cash bail. He is scheduled to be in court next week. Route 4 in Vermont was closed Thursday evening due to a fatal car crash along the Quechee-Woodstock town line. Police say that 40-year-old Patience Hutt of Woodstock, Vermont, was killed when she was hit by a truck hauling a large empty horse trailer near the Heartland town line. The driver of the truck and his passenger were not injured. The trailer also clipped another car. The two people in that car were not hurt. State Police and the Department of Motor Vehicles is investigating the crash. A New Hampshire man involved in a multi-state burglary ring 2 years ago accepted a plea deal that could keep him in prison for the next 2 years, according to a report by the Eagle Times. 23-year-old Logan Critchfield of Walpole, New Hampshire, agreed to 4 felony burglary counts in a Vermont courtroom yesterday, according to Deputy State's Attorney Steve Brown. Critchfield had already been serving time in New Hampshire related to the crime spree, and his 2-year sentence in Vermont will run concurrently with those charges. He also faces up to 9 years in Virginia for probation violations. 2 Hartford women were arrested on Tuesday for an assault on a Vershire woman on April 24th. WNTK reports that 19-year-old Angela Lemire restrained 44-year-old Denise Brissett on April 24th in her Vershire home, while 44-year-old Yvette White, also of Hartford, struck Brissett in the head with a glass bottle. White was charged with aggravated assault and giving false information to a police officer, and Lemire was charged for unlawful restraint, first degree. Both women will appear in Orange Court. The city of Claremont has taken possession of 33 homes and land parcels after efforts to get the owners to pay their back taxes failed, according to a report by the Eagle Times. City Manager Guy Santagate said Thursday that the City Council voted to take the properties and give them the authority to sell them as part of an effort to close the loop in back taxes. The council could have taken a total of 42 properties this week after notices of taxes owed went out to the building owners in March. 9 of the properties were deemed unsuitable for the city to take, either because of financial liability connected to the property or an environmental liability. A special House committee says it wants a bigger profit if New Hampshire legalizes a casino. The joint House Finance and Ways and Means committees met yesterday to discuss the research done by 3 subcommittees into whether New Hampshire should legalize a casino. A committee appointed to advise New Hampshire on implementing the federal health overhaul law will be updating the state on where things stand. The Health Exchange Advisory Board is holding its monthly meeting today and is expected to learn more about what the role insurance agents will play in the new system and what will be included in the state's Consumer Assistance Program. The Vermont House has approved legislation calling for labeling of food products containing genetically modified organisms. The bill would exempt food from animals, including meat and dairy products. After the break, we'll meet up with a few businesses at the Eastman Golf Links Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours.
The YCU News continues in a moment.